as a continuation of the relationship, I am going to discuss about the effects of education towards poverty. First, education lessens discrimination because an educated person doesn't really encounter discrimination, but they are being respected instead because of their position. The lesser the discrimination will be, of course, the lesser the depression will happen. Because we all know that people usually undergoes depression or overstress is because they are being discriminated, they are being bullied, or they are being judged about their aspects of living. And so, the lesser the depression will be, the lesser the diseases will become. Because depression usually affects our mental health, our physical health, and as well as our emotional health. And the lesser the depression that happens to us, the lesser the diseases will become. And the lesser the diseases, the more confidence that we achieve because we are healthy, and so we can boast our self-esteem because we are capable and we know ourselves more than them. And the more confidence that we encounter or we have, the more education will happen because when we are all confident enough, then we are capable of being an educated individual because we know that we can do it. Why not? Why not do it? And now I am going to discuss about looping, reinforcing, and balancing. First is reinforcing loop, or also known as the problem. In this aspect, we will determine the main causes of poverty. Too much debt is one of the main reasons why we encounter being in the state of poverty. Because instead of buying those things that we really needed the most, such as foods, clothes, we prioritize paying those debts. And more debts, the more behavior change a people will encounter. This behavior change refers to alcoholism, under in so much stress, mental ability, physical ability, or even emotional instability. And more behavioral change, the more mental strain that we encounter or we feel. Mental strain refers to the ability of the brain to think in a critical manner or in a systematic thinking. We doesn't actually encounter this type of thinking if we are under too much behavior change, and our brain will become affected, and so we are more likely to become a mental strain individual. The more mental strain that an individual encounter, the more disease that will happen. Well, actually, it's a complex thing. When the brain will be affected, every part of the body will be affected as well. And so, more diseases, more deaths will happen. Because when we have more diseases, those things will be added up in a medicational process, because we usually will goes to hospital for treatment, and those medicational bills will be added in our debts because we are poor. We are in this state of being in a poverty manner. And now we are in this aspects of balancing loop or the solution. What are the solution of poverty? First is income. Why income? Because income is the main source why people continues to live. And so income must be in balance with expenses. The income must be bigger than what we expense. That is why I put the less sign, because we must first determine our income before our expenses. So our expenses must be lesser than our income, not more than for us to stop being in too much debts. And so the lesser the expenses will become, the lesser the debts is what I'm saying, because too much expenses, if expenses will happen to be more than the income, then those money that is in the excess of the expenses will turns up in debts. And the lesser the debts, the more physical fit a person will have. Because when we have lesser debts, we think normally we are physically fit, emotionally fit, and mentally healthy. And so we have the ability to think what is better for our future. And so the more the physical fit, the more confidence that we have. Of course, when we are healthy, when we are mentally stable, we are in the manner, or we can engage in confidence. We are capable and we can do it actually. The more confidence, of course, the more education will happen. And the more education will happen, the more income will become. Being an educated person, we all know that we can become a successful individual. And so we have more income, and this solution will actually happens to prevent poverty. And more income, of course, we can succeed in our life.